Hello, 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 and welcome back to another episode of Keen Young Minds, where we get into the minds of entertainers, beyond the veil, and actually find out what's going on. And here we are with Sandra Okunzuwa. Welcome, welcome. Did I pronounce it right? I'm talking with my...
But you're trying.
Okunzuwa.
Yes.
Okay, wow. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. It's so good to have you.
It's so good to be here as well.
You know what? Like, I'm so glad I saw you at AMVCA. You know, literally, I saw you like from behind, and I tapped you. I had to speak to you because you're an inspiring person. You know, and there's not many women that are left that I can say, I can look from afar and say they're inspiring. You know, so soak it up now.
Thank you.
Take them well now. So let's get into your mind. Let's get into this. Like you're an actress, you're a model, you're a lawyer, business owner, humanitarian. That word doesn't get thrown around so much, you know. Tell us about that humanitarian side, like.
Okay. Sandra Okunzuwa Foundation.
Okay.
Even before it became like a proper foundation, it was something I've been doing since I was 18. I started that when I lost my dad.
Okay.
And I just wanted to do something, you know. I've always had a thing for giving back, especially kids and disabled people, because I feel like they're handicapped, they can't be able to do much for themselves. So I'm like, okay, you know what? If you have this certain amount of money, why don't you split it and try to like give back, give to people, just make them happy, even if it's in your own little way. So I started that pretty young. I was still in uni at that time, and from there, and it's something I've been doing out of pocket. Even till now, I still do it like out of pocket. So I don't go about soliciting for funds. But then there are sometimes when I get to post it, and then people are like, okay, I want to be part of this. How do I get to be part of it? Well, I enjoy it. I enjoy it. I think I paused in 2020 because I was having some kind of life crisis, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I was really upset. Oh no, you're going to get to that now, really.
Whoa, we got there. We got there.
Right.
A life crisis. You don't seem like a person to have a life crisis. Tell us about it. Let's get into it. Let me sip my drink.
Yeah, you should.
Let me sip my drink.
Okay, I think 2020 was crazy. With the whole COVID situation. And then I lost a loved one.
Okay.
And
that was your dad, right?
my sister.
Okay. Sorry to hear that.
So thank you.
Yeah.
So that time was a very difficult time for me.
Of course.
I became a totally different person. And the fact that, you know, as an entertainer, you still have to put whatever it is that you're going through behind you, and still try to entertain people. It's crazy. Everyone just expects you to be okay.
Yeah. The reason why I'm clicking is because in New York, when they have like these poetry nights and someone says something deep, we have to click. Yeah. We don't clap, we click. Yeah. So you can click with me now,
okay.
Sha.
All right.
You said as an entertainer, there's the pressure. You have to put things behind you, but still go on to entertain. And that's the problem. That's the struggle. You know, that's the mental struggle. You know, and what people don't realize is that grief is a mental illness. You know, it can lead to other things. You know, there's 5 stages of grief, I believe. Don't quote me. But I'm not a psychiatrist though. I'm just a humble actor. So there's 5 stages of grief, or whatever it is, and it's a mental illness. If someone's grieving, I would say it's important to get therapy. You know, it's important to have the right people around you. You know, how did you deal with it mentally?
I think my problem, like, I didn't know how to speak. Like, I don't know how to start talking to people about my problems or whatever it is that I'm going through, because I feel like I'm showing weakness, and I don't like to feel vulnerable. I don't know, for some weird reasons, it's just something that I don't like to do. And in those times, I just talk to just my family, because no matter the the point or whatever I'm going through, they will understand better than an outsider. So I think I was away from work for some time, I think for like 3 months, and I thought that way I'll feel better, but it wasn't helping. So, and you know, one thing with being in a position to help people go through pain, when you too you're going through pain, you can't give what you don't have.
Of course, of course,
so
of course.
I went back to work. Sometimes I'll have to cry behind the scenes, like when I'm changing.
Wow.
There was a movie I was shooting at that time, Pure.
Wow.
All through from the beginning to the end of that project, I will go to my changing room, I'll cry so bad. I'll clean my tears, and when I come out, I'm like...
Smiling.
Yes.
Lord.
So I think I went back to work. I started... My friend taught me how to be talking to people, even if they're listening to you, just talking about your problem. It has a way of easing it, and you're letting it out. So I started talking to people, not everyone, but to the people I feel like they will understand me. And,
of course.
I started listening to music more, and it was difficult trusting God again, but I just had to go back to God because that's the only thing I know.
110%. I always say it should be God, then life, then creativity.
Yes.
You know, but what happens is that it's inverse. We put creativity first. And we
because
put
I was angry. I was so mad. I'm like, because the kind of relationship I have with God is really strong and deep, and I feel like my God can't let something bad happen to me. So I was really upset. It's just like when you trust someone and you feel like that person is going to be there for you at all costs, no matter what. Even if any problem is going to come to you, the person is going to like give you like a sign. And when that person doesn't do all that, you feel betrayed.
Of course.
So at that point, I was just ignoring everything. I'm like, I don't want to hear from you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to even listen. Probably let me just follow what I'm passionate about. And so by the end of the day, it went back to the same God.
Yeah. Wow, that's absolutely incredible. And in the midst of that, you've kept all that creativity, you know, Against the Clock, Dear Diane. Tell us about those two films, because in the midst of all your pain, you were still so creative. Tell us about those two films.
Dear Diane?
Yeah.
Okay, for Dear Diane, I did Dear Diane in 2018.
2019? 2018,
but it came out in 2019.
Ah, okay, cool.
So
cool.
For Dear Diane, the character is just someone who, she's sick, right? Okay. But she still believes that she can be able to make something out of it. Like she can create life out of it. And that project is still God. Why? Because I started the whole filming thing. I got into the entertainment space officially in 2017.
Wow. And look at you now. Look at you now.
Thank you.
You don't shine, oh. You don't shine small.
Thank you. And then in my quiet place, I'm always telling God that I want to do something that I like to do, like jobs that people can relate with, they can learn from, it can motivate and inspire them. It's not just to entertain, laugh, smile, and all of that, but there's something you have to learn. And when the producer, she reached out to me and said, oh, Sandra, I wanted you to be part of this project. When I read the script, I'm like, is this girl crazy? But then I realized that there are some people, when they believe so much in something, they go hard for it. They don't care whatever it's going to cost. They don't care, but this is what I want, and that is what I'm going to go for. And that's the character, Diane. She knew that she's sick. She had like kidney problem, and then she still wants to give birth. Because to her, she feels like, you know what? My mother gave me life. I have to give life to someone else. So that is the goal. I don't care whatever it's going to take. I don't care if it's going to cost me my life. But you see that's what I want. And I also see her like a go-getter. And I can relate with the character because me as Sandra, if I want something, I go for it.
Yeesh. Yeesh, I felt that on my chest. Yeesh.
I promise you. Back in law school, like my university class.
I like the way you just like threw that out. Back in law school, how many facets are there to you? Damn, girl.
So
you popping.
Thank you so much.
So back in law school, go for it.
So back in my law school days, even in my uni, I've always known that I wanted to be an entertainer. I wanted to be an actor. And I used to tell my classmates then, I'll be like, I want to go into the entertainment space. They're like, but you're doing well as a lawyer. I said, no, that is what I want. So even when I even practiced and my boss was like, he didn't believe in me. He didn't even feel like I'm going to amount to anything in the entertainment space. He was like, what is wrong with this one? Because you're fine, you just want to just be there and everything. But then I told him, I said, time will come that you wish you really supported and believed in me. But now he's just like, I'm seeing your movie. My wife loved your So you see, I told you.
And how did you find that mentally? What did you have to do to keep that resolve? You know, because as a fellow creative, I know I've been in that exact place. You know, mentally, what did you have to do to convince yourself to stay the course of creativity? You know,
I think it's the goal for me.
Okay, the goal. Having a strong goal.
Yes. I'm a very strong-willed person. So sometimes I have my low moments. I have the time where I break down and I'm like, I'm not doing this nonsense anymore. I want to focus on myself and everything. But then I just tell myself that there's a reason why you started this. Just keep going. It can get better. So that's it.
I love that. I love that. And finally, tell me about Wildflower, because that project looks amazing, you know?
Okay, so the Wildflower is like my newest project. It's going to be in the cinemas from 27th of this month. I played the character Adolisa. Adolisa was a girl that was actually abused. She's from a family that her mom has been abused by her father. And she's like, okay, you know what's going on? This is how my life is going to be. Like, I want something better for myself. I want something better for my sister. I want to, she's just a character that wants something different from what she's used to. And you know, like, when you are from an abusive home, you start beginning to think that what it is the norm. That's why, I'm sorry to deviate a bit, I feel like the reason why they have a lot of people, like, sorry, this is not gender-based, but I'm just saying, like, men abusing their wives and all of that, domestic violence everywhere, is because of their upbringing. It's now, they got to that point where they felt like, okay, this is how it's supposed to be. So if you really look or ask them deep questions, they feel like when they see their dad beating their mom this minute, and the next minute the mom is preparing food for the dad. And then they are together and they are happy and everything. So as a child, you grow up feeling that that is how it's supposed to be. That is how I'm going to show my wife that I love my wife. Do you get?
It's called learned helplessness. Where you subconsciously learn something and you think it's normal. It's actual a type of mental illness as well.
You just feel like that's how it's supposed to be. And adults, it's difficult to unlearn what they've learned in the past. Like, it's difficult. You can't just unlearn something. So, but with constant talking, preaching, things like this.
Open forums.
Open forums. People can get to learn and see things differently.
I agree. Well, listen, Sandra, thanks for coming on and making us see things differently, you know, because and I think that's going to be your mission and your purpose within film and beyond, is help others to see things differently. Tell us where we can find you.
Okay, so my name is Sandra Okunzuwa. I'm an actor, lawyer, philanthropist, and a business owner. Okay, so you can find me on Instagram, Sandra Okunzuwa. Then you can find me on Snapchat as well, and on Facebook, but I'm not always on Facebook, so Instagram is best. And then for my business, Sally's Signature Skincare and Hair.
I love it. And there we have it. We're shedding the light in the dark. Another episode of Keen Young Minds. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe, spread the message.
Of course, it's something you guys need to watch. It's really entertaining. I had a good time, a great time actually.
I'm glad you agree.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on the show, and tune in for more deep truths. Peace. Thank you. You know what it is. It's your boy at Obionna, aka Yonna. Handles at Obionna, Obionna. We've just wrapped on a great show, Keen Young Minds. It's going to be incredible. We're starting with the minds and then we're changing the world. So, and you know what? If you enjoyed the show, like and subscribe. It's going to be the beginning of a revolution. So stay tuned for more and reach out. Let's connect, man. Let's get into it.